Today we're going to be telling you a little bit about the chakras in the body. Now there's 7 main chakras and they are areas of energy.
That's right, they're areas of energy where basically a whole lot of points come together in the body, and they're located up the spine and help created at different stages of development. So when we work in a yoga practice, we're actually working to clear and balance and open chakras so that you're living your best life ever.
Got to be good. Hi, I'm Audrey.
And I'm Christina, and
This is Yoga to Transform.
Who are we?
Who are we and what do we do?
We do yoga.
That's right. So, 7 chakras. They, sometimes I've seen a picture of somebody sitting like in a yoga pose, and they've got little circles of different colours up there in the body. Have you seen something like that? That's quite often an image of our chakras. But the colours resonate, don't they? Because they vibrate at the same kind of level that each of the chakras vibrates at. So let's start from the base chakra, shall we? And that's often red, isn't it?
That's right. So the root chakra is Muladhara chakra, and it is the red one. Yeah. And it's our base and our grounding chakra, and linked to survival and our right to exist and our right to be here. That's right.
So worked on often in standing poses, so standing poses like in yoga or squats, or being so that you're feeling that you really are physically grounded to the earth. But then in a more of a psychological way, it also enables you to live your life grounded to what you believe in.
Correct. And the physical grounding to earth is so important, and I think quite a lot of the spiritual traditions teach that the liberation current, which is actually about kind of going out through the crown chakra and connecting to the divine, but you've got to really understand that it's just as important to create a manifestation current, which is going in the opposite direction, down from the divine through all the chakras, through the base chakra into the earth. And you can't manifest and live a really stable, solid, structured life if that base chakra isn't connecting you to your ground, or you're not connected to that chakra. You'll deal with issues of survival.
Or feeling out of place and not being settled in whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
Right. So red must be coming up to orange next.
Woo!
And that is down in your pelvis.
That's correct. It's your second chakra.
Second chakra. So also thinking about it being connected into your spine, it goes right through your body. It's not just at the front, is it?
Yeah, that's correct.
And that one is about your sense of self.
No, that's more about your relationships. It's all about money and relationships and your connection to tribe. So, sense of self's number 3. Money Porter.
Okay, getting there.
So that's that whole. So each chakra also has an element associated. So it's the water chakra, water element in here, which is about your emotions, how you relate to other people, your sexuality, your creativity, how you express yourself in the world. But again, it's still a downward moving kind of creative energy and manifestation.
So that was sacral, rightio. So now we come up to Manipura.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that's your will chakra, the third chakra.
Yeah, which is just a little smidge above your belly button.
Correct. I'm just playing with it here.
Okay.
It's quite interesting because I do. I actually remember the first acupuncturist that I used to see when I moved to Sydney. I said something, and she said, "Well, as your Money Porter strengthens, your ability to be manipulated by other people and your ability to manipulate other people lessens, right? So it's really about your boundaries and your personal power. So when it's out of balance, it's like that manipulation and power over and controlling and domination. But
Yeah, so it can go both ways, can't it? So somebody doing it to you, or you trying to be dominating. So you want it to be settled and focused on itself and working well within itself, so the energy's flowing in the right direction.
Yeah. So, and that's yellow.
Oh yes, yellow, forgot the colour. Radio.
And it's all about your sense of personal power and your will to act in the world. So it's a moving out into the world kind of energy.
So the next one people will probably understand and know a little bit more, the heart chakra. Well done, and that's blue.
No, it's green.
It's green. Oh, blue, green.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the colours of the rainbow, you see. That's the problem.
Really? Yeah.
So we've talked quite a lot about that over the past month or so, with it being the month of February, which is often a month of the heart chakra, but it's about compassion
And forgiveness. Yeah.
And being connected. And
that this giving energy, right? So there's that, like, love has no boundaries, and I always love that Corinthians poem, you know, love does not boast, it does not envy, it has no pride. It's just that overflowing cup of seeing the beauty.
Yeah, and making connections. Yeah. All right, so this is the next one. I'm not even going to go with the colour because I've forgotten. You'll remember. It's blue. So your throat. Often, from my experience, about speaking your truth. Yeah. Saying the things that are real for you. Yeah. Not being overshadowed by other people, or being put down by other people, but being able to stand in your own truth. Yeah, absolutely. It's the authentic expression of yourself. And that again, you know, how this is your creativity here, like both of these really need to be working really well for you to be out in the world. So a lot of, you know, this was in a huge area where I've had to do a lot of work. Me too. Which is so funny because, you know, people who know me now. Here we are both chatting to you, no problem whatsoever. But that search for finding the truth of who you are, and then living from that place, and then expressing it is all residing here. And in some ways it's the connection between your heart and your head too, isn't it? So you might know some things in your heart, but sometimes your head doesn't want to follow, and so being able to speak your truth helps make that connection, doesn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so 2 to go. Yes. Third eye. You don't have an eye like some the animals. Tuatara. I was going to say some animals do. I was thinking of the Tuatara. They actually have their third eye open for some of their life. Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about that one. Colour. Violet. White. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, violet. Yeah, or purple. So this is your eye of intuition and greater insight. So it kind of, when you're meditating, quite often you'd be meditating on the point between your eyebrows, which is where you're developing that ability to hear the greater wisdom of your own knowing, which ultimately is just connected to the greater wisdom of the universe's knowing, right? And connect into that. Because how often have you gone, I knew that. Yeah. So it's sort of that voice of intuition in your life, you know. Oh, actually, yes, I was really looking for that new program or that book or something, and you know, and you went to a particular place and you found it. So you already have those abilities. Something that in this Western world we're not really developing, or we don't develop them that well. But the opportunity to meditate, that helps you get in touch with that. You might call it a little voice in your head. Exactly. You might call it God, might call it universe, higher self, whatever. There's all sorts of names for it, but being aware of how it can help guide you in your life and what you're going to do. Absolutely. And it's got a lot to do with clarity of seeing and clarity of vision. So a whole lot of the spiritual path is around learning to see things differently and learning to see past
this illusion of life that we live in, you know, and I really struggle with the fact that spiritual teachers call it an illusion, because heck, it's a great illusion. I really love being alive, but there is a whole lot of, when you pick back, what they're actually saying is that we're not always looking through the eyes of love. So cultivating that ability to see things differently and really anchor into the eyes of love.
That's right. So let's finish off this little chat with our crown chakra, which is right up here, often called the 1,000-petaled lotus.
Correct. Yeah.
And that is your connection to the greater spiritual world, which of course resides in here, but the connection is I was going to say made or directed through the crown of your head, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because babies are born with the hole in the top of the head, right? That kind
fontanelle.
The fontanelle, and it kind of closes over. So, you know, we're born open, and then we just have to kind of return to being open again.
That's right. And that's your, you know, again, it's an opportunity to meditate. I know quite a few of the guided meditations I've done have imagined, you know, a bright white light streaming down through the crown of your head, and that's sort of imitating or giving you the sense of being filled up with the universal spirit, or whatever you like to call it.
Absolutely. And just kind of bringing in that ability for you to anchor into the radiance of your own being, and the fact, and there's this knowing in the oneness of life, right, and the oneness of everything. So we have this thing where I look at Audrey and she's a separate body, and I'm the separate body, and here's my boundaries and stuff. But when you really start to kind of open up into this liberation current, what you start to connect into, and you will have these mystical experiences of feeling the oneness of everything. That
there is no separateness. We're all part of the same illusion, I suppose, as you said.
Exactly.
Exactly. So finishing on a deep and meaningful thing, but that's because the crown chakra really is that connection to the higher understanding of how the universe works. And I think, like, it's important, just as an end note, is that that we're humans, right? Having a human experience, or divine beings having, whatever you want to describe it. So it's so important that, because quite a lot of us, when we're practicing yoga and doing meditation and all of that kind of stuff, are trying to escape our humanity. And the chakra system is a vehicle to help you do that, but it's also a vehicle for you to really embody your humanity and get into
your body, and start to have these moments that Audrey and I do, which is far out. We love it here. Yeah, that's right. And so you know, if we think about chakras as actually energy, spinning energy centers. So, you know, actually having your chakras in alignment and being aware of them actually gives you that boundless energy to live this human life as much as you possibly can. Exactly. Feeling grounded and safe and supported and stable, and then having great relationships and standing in your power and being able to love freely and express your innate wisdom and have this like intuition, you know, like, it's cool, man. And I assure you, we've only been drinking tea. So come along on our yoga journey, develop your own yoga journey, tune into some other of our YouTube channel videos, or take a look at our Facebook page or Instagram, because we'd love to have you along for the ride. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Namaste. Namaste.